Went racing after they meted and greeted the fans. The British superstar was quickest to the line to take his second win of the season and move himself just 6 points away from championship leader Matteo De Paolo. That means the British driver could be leading this round as our championship leader if he's to go and take another win today, but he will not be the driver starting from the front of the grid, because for the first time we have a front row lockout for Van Amersfoort Racing. The first time they've done that in Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine history. Welcome everyone to your live coverage. My name Chris McCarthy. Thank you to not only our marshals but also our brave camera crew as well, who have been up there in the gods and in the changing weather conditions, which have not quite been making their mind up so far this weekend. Watching the weather today, it has changed with every second. So brace yourselves, just like I said earlier, for what could be a very entertaining race. Just like he did yesterday, Pedro Claro will lead us away from pole position. He becomes the 7th driver in the championship's history to take double pole position across a weekend, and the first for Van Amersfoort Racing. And on the story of firsts, Van Amersfoort Racing get their first front row lockout, and they do it on home soil in the year they celebrate 50 years in the championship. They got their last win here, their last win in the championship in 2023 with Kaz Havicourt. They've had a 1-2 before. Can they do it again? The last 1-2 came at Red Bull Ring in 2022 in a race of changing conditions, believe it or not. Freddie Slater, though, will start third and will be hoping to spoil that party, just like he did yesterday. And Enzo Deligny will have his hand up when we talk race winners as well, because he is in a four-way fight for the championship where the drivers are split by just 11 points. He is the back of the lead quartet, but he could very much be the championship leader by the time we get to the end of this race. Jin Nakamura, one of his standout qualifying performances so far this season. He's had a personal best race result of 7th. He's got a great chance to go and improve that today, the Japanese driver. He's absolutely flying, and Akshay Bora very much in form this weekend. He said to us after qualifying he wants consistency. He's backed up a first podium with a 3rd place in his group in qualifying, so he goes from P6. P7, Evan Gilter, he was on the limit and sadly off on his final flying lap, which didn't help him go for pole position, but nevertheless, he's up there in the top 10. He's 3rd in the championship. He's got a chance of points. Matteo De Paolo has very much been trying to hold on to his championship lead, but he's doing what a championship leader needs to do, and that's just keep scoring the points. And starting 8th place, he's got a good chance to do that again today. Points go to your top 10, same as they do in Formula 1. No points for pole position, no points for fastest lap. Matteo De Paolo, the Italian driver who gave Trident their first win, is going to be there on row 4. Let's conclude the top 10, shall we, in a bit of detail. Row 5, Van Amersfoort Racing, all 3 cars in the top 10. To the right of screen in the orange and black, 5 down, that's Dion Gauda. 4 rookie wins for him now. He can make that 5 today. And then we have Kanato Lee as well. Good result that for Kanato Lee. He's been in the points twice this season. Let's see if he can go and make it a 3rd. Just see how windy it is, and in 15 seconds the drivers are going to go into that. Slick tyres on the cars on what is a dry track for now, but looking round, it is not only windy, but there is rain threatening. Let's see what happens as we go into the unknown here at Zandvoort. Welcome everyone to you. It's a pleasure to have your company and the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. If you're joining us for the first time as the drivers set off on the formation lap, let's bring you up to speed. They're going to have 5 push-to-passes throughout the race in a 30 minutes plus 1 lap race. Points go to your top 10. Here's how they start, 26 of them, so this may take a little while. Pedro Claro, Hiyu Yamakoshi, row 1. Freddie Slater, Enzo Deligny are on row 2. And then we come to row 3. We saw Jin Nakamura could get a personal best result. Akshay Bora could follow up that podium today. Evan Gilter and Matteo De Paolo, 2 of the top 4 in the championship, split by just 11 points. The blue box around Dion Gauda says he's a rookie. He's alongside Kanato Lee. Taito Kato just outside of the top 10, really enjoying himself this weekend, as is Rashid El Deheri, the Mercedes Junior. Nikita Bedrin terrible luck yesterday. Hope it goes better for him today. Jack Beaton is next, then Ricky Liu and Nando Binimbakti, who celebrated his birthday yesterday. Ye Reerhart is on row 9 with Enzo Peugeot. Tim Gerhardt's the only Dutch driver out there, alongside Dorian Pan. So a lot of support for Tim Gerhardt's. Giovanni Maschio has been in the wars so far this weekend and in the barriers a couple of times. Michael Belov picked the wrong strategy in qualifying, so he's out of position. Yaroslav Veselau and Saket Al-Masergi, and then Adi Kulkarni alongside the driver who collided with him on the first lap of the race, Edouard Borgner, who received a grid job. In qualifying, it was changing conditions throughout. It was one of the toughest qualifying sessions I've witnessed in 5 seasons of this championship. We had drivers going out on different tyres throughout the sessions. Pedro Claro, in their group, it was a little more straightforward, with everyone seemingly going for the same choice, and he was fastest across the line on the last lap, with drivers going out on wet tyres. In the second group, Hiyu Yamakoshi's, some were slicks, some were wets. They all then decided it was better to go the way of the wet tyres, and Hiyu Yamakoshi eventually coming out fastest in what was a great qualifying session. And could Van Amersfoort Racing, for the first time since Red Bull Ring in 2022, in the first race there, get a 1-2 finish? That time it was Kaz Havercourt and Josh Dufek pipping Pierre-Louis Chouvet in a drag race to the line. They stayed with wet tyres in that race, in a race that had pit stops, which is highly unusual for a Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine race. Drivers, Kaz came from 14th to win. Josh Dufek came from 10th to 2nd. So we had 2 drivers who would have been happy to stay where they were and take the points. This time it's a completely different scenario for Van Amersfoort. We've got a head-to-head, 2 drivers in Pedro Claro and Hiyu Yamakoshi, who haven't been on the top step before. So that could be a real tussle between them. They're both fighting for their own championships, their own careers. Behind them, 2 drivers who have won, in Freddie Slater and Enzo Deligny, ready to pick up the pieces. Dark clouds around, 30 minutes for the weather to change. A yellow flag is out, I fear, for Evan Gilter, who looks to be waving his hands. That could be a real shame, and I think this is going to be an aborted start. So we might see this start delayed. We may go around again. Let's wait and see exactly what race control decides. Yes, extra formation lap. I think this is for Evan Gilter, who looks to be signalling. Let's find out. He's 4 down to the right of screen. Yes. Oh, what a shame. Evan Gilter, that is big for the championship fight. The French driver is 3rd in the standings. He's 7 points back from Matteo De Paolo. If he'd won this race, if things had gone his way, he could have been leaving this race as the championship leader. And Evan Gilter is going to have to start this one from the pit lane. And now he gets going. Well, all the cars have passed him. So Evan Gilter has caused an extra formation lap, so at least he's going to have to come through the pit lane. And even if he does go through to take his place on the grid, there will be some sort of penalty coming the way of Evan Gilter. That's a real shame for him. Well, at least we've seen him get going, and he is back running. But this is a secondary formation lap now. Well, as I mentioned, a great head-to-head at the front here between Claro and Yamakoshi. 2 drivers chasing first wins. Slater and Deligny, they know what it's like to taste that top step of the podium. Jin Nakamura, where he could get on the podium for the first time today. Akshay Bora has been there yesterday. And then we have Evan Gilter, who looks like he's going to have to do some sort of serve some sort of penalty here. Matteo De Paolo is our championship leader, then Dion Gauda, Kanato Lee. Today's been a great day for the drivers, I have to say. We had the drivers' autograph session earlier where the fans waited in the rain to meet the drivers, and a thank you to all the fans. If you are listening to this live stream around the circuit, those of you turned up, the drivers really do appreciate it. And if you're ever coming to a Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine race, we do the drivers' autograph session at every single race, so you can come and meet the drivers, get their autographs and speak to them as well. They're all very friendly, as are the teams. We're very accommodating to you meeting the drivers. They are the stars of the future at the end of the day. There's the penalty for Evan Gillet. He's going to have to come and start in the pit lane, so that's the decision taken. That's no surprise. But these are the stars of the feature. 4 of the current F1 drivers came through this series, which started under its current management in 2021. Franco Colapinto, Kimi Antonelli, Isaac Hadjar, and Gabriel Bortoleto. One a season we are looking at. This year we are on the 5th season and the road to 100 races of this championship. Who is the next star of Formula One that we are looking at on this grid? That is the question. One of them is certainly going to be on their way there statistically. Evan Gillet, sadly his championship has just got a little bit tougher now. 7 points back and he's got a very uphill battle. All he can hope is something very strange happens with the weather and he's the only one that picks the strategy, something along those lines. But he will start from pit lane, leaving an empty gap ahead of Dion Gauda. 30 minutes plus a lap. They'll have a push-to-pass system. 5 of them they can use. That will be active after 1 lap. Points to your top 10. 30 minutes plus a lap. Race 2 of round 3 to the left. Hiryu Yamakoshi to the right. Pedro Claro, we are go for the 2nd time this weekend at Zandvoort. And a much better start for Claro. There was contact there between Deligny and Slater. It looks like Slater is okay. And away around the first corner in the red and white Prema. It's the 2 Van Amersfoorts, 1 and 2. Claro leading Yamakoshi. Slater in 3rd, then Deligny and Bora 4 and 5. The 2 RSGPs, it looked like there may have been contact there. Slater was all out of shape coming down towards the first corner, but we do continue as we are, and Deligny is not done with Slater yet. He's all over the back of the British driver, going down now towards turn 7, looking further back on the move. We have got one of the other RSGP cars, that's Jin Nakamura, trying to make places in the 55. Dion Gauda as well. Great start from Dion Gauda, the rookie driver, trying to come through the field. He started P9, but he's dealing with the pair of ART drivers in Kanato Lee and Taito Kato as well. Heading down now to turn 11 we go. And Taito Kato trying to pick his way through, but round the outside there. Oh, that's Nikita Bedrin who's picked off Rashid Al-Dahiri. So Nikita Bedrin trying to make up for a miserable day yesterday. The weather wouldn't have helped his mood at all because he came to a stop in Q1 and in race 1. And he has a chance to make up for some time today. Van Amersfoort 1 and 2, the Dutch team on home soil. 50 years they celebrate. They haven't won since this race in 2023. Could this be their day? Long way to go, but so far so good. Matteo De Paolo up 2 places on that first lap. Let's look back at the start. What happened to Freddie Slater, I wonder? This is a little bit further back. We can see drivers going 2-3 wide as we head down to the first corner. Matteo De Paolo takes the inside line in the blue, red and white Trident. And oh, well, he got his elbows out there on Jin Nakamura, and very forceful in his attack, I have to say, Matteo De Paolo, but got the move done. Behind, that's an RPM car. I think that's Siye Reha. That's where De Paolo got a little forceful with Jin Nakamura to go through. And then that's Michael Belov trying to get himself up the order. Dorian Pan makes contact, I think, with Tim Gerhards, it might have been. Incident between Deligny and Slater noted, so there was contact, and it has been noted by the stewards. But no damage, it seems, to Slater or to Deligny, not at least that's forcing them to come into pit lane. Fans watching on, great to see everyone's enjoying themselves as yellow flags are out. Oh no, that's Tim Gerhards. His home race has not gone as planned. All the crowd would have been cheering for Gerhards. Unfortunately, his race has come to a stop, but they still have the Van Amersfoort Racing team to cheer for. And Slater trying to spoil this 1-2 party because he's going almost side by side there with Yamakoshi as we came through the turn 6 and 7 complex. And there is the safety car for Tim Gerhards. So that car will now be recovered. And that will give a breather to Hiyu Yamakoshi. Here comes the safety car out onto the circuit. There is Gerhards out the car. We can't quite tell exactly what happened to him. I don't know if he has just come to a stop. We did see his teammate, Nikita Bedrin, having problems at that exact same spot. So not too sure what's going on, but I'm not sure if that is just a really unfortunate coincidence. But Nikita Bedrin pulled over just meters away from where Tim Gerhards has. Very strange. A really disappointing weekend for Santilok. Has he picked up damage here with Dodi and Pan? We did see the pair of them coming together. Yeah, possible. That's where maybe we've got some suspension damage, possibly, or a puncture to Gerhards, which is developed a little bit further around the lap. Either way, we do know he's out. The safety car is out. And Claro will now be the one dealing with the restart. Yesterday, it was almost a lights to flag win for Slater, even though he didn't start from pole. He was pretty much in the lead just a few meters after the lights, given how good his start was, and that and a combination by Claro and Bora's start. They both seemed to just take a second to get off the line, and Slater took full advantage. But today, Claro good away from the line and dealing with any pressure that's been thrown at him so far. If anything, it's been Yamakoshi who's been having to defend from Freddie Slater. Deligny there in 4th, Bora in 5th. De Paulo's made a good start in P6, and this will just bring him into play even more now. Nakamura, P6, Gowda in 8th, and Kato. And Kanato Lee rounding out your top 10. Nikita Bedrin, he is doing a good job. And there is Tim Gerhard's car. So I don't know if we'll be in a position to go this lap, but we're very much... Ah, we are. Okay. Good call by the stewards and race control to sort of preempt that we were going to be ready to go here, and they've it's come up on my screen that we're going to be safety car in this lap. There go the lights. So great work by the marshals, who have been through all sorts of weather this weekend, and we thank them everywhere we go for their service. Right, Pedro Claro now the one to lead us on a safety car restart. Slater took us around the final corner yesterday, then got going. Let's see what Pedro Claro decides. He's doing similar tactics to Freddie Slater. Pedro Claro heading round the banking, and there he goes, gets his foot down as we go back away and racing in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine here at Zandvoort for the final time this weekend. And Slater is side by side with Enzo Deligny into turn 1. Enzo Deligny threatening to go all the way around the outside, and that was almost a very good move from Deligny. Bora now trying to go by Jin Nakamura there. The 3 RHGP drivers, 4, 5 and 6 all together now. Was that a move from Bora? It was either an attempted move or a great move around the outside. Either way, Jin Nakamura now, I think that is side by side with Akshay Bora. Front wing change needed for Dodi and Pan after her contact with Tim Gerhard. So she is in to pit lane, and that's a shame for Dodi and Pan. But we wish her the best of luck for Canada, and that will be our next race at F1 Academy. Having a great season there. The Blue Yas Heats, Rashid Al-Daheri fending off Enzo Peugeot and trying to get on the move ahead of Kanato Lee. So Jin Nakamura has is still fending off Bora there. It's great battling going on here. These two side by side. And then De Paolo, is he going to make his move? He's right up there, isn't he, Matteo De Paolo? So he's now in P7. Heading down the start-finish straight. The RSGP drivers are doing very well. Jin Nakamura is doing a very good job. He's up to P5 now, having gone past De Paolo and past Bora. So Jin Nakamura on the move in that number 11 car. He's back to where he started. This is a little bit further back. This is on the safety car restart. Is this why Dorian... Oh, well, there we go. So it wasn't for the contact with Tim Gerhardt. It was for contact on the restart. Well, let's pick up the replay. So let's watch for Jin Nakamura. He's behind Matteo De Paolo, so it's the third of the white RSGP cars, and that was the move he set up round the outside of Matteo De Paolo, and then Dorian Pan came in, then got past Akshay Bora on the run down through 6 and into 7. So took advantage of a safety car restart. Now Nakamura is heading after Enzo Deligny. So 2 in 1 lap on the restart. Now staring at a possible 4th place. The podium places are much further up the road. Push to pass is available. We don't know when they're using it. They don't know when each other are using it. It's as simple as that. They get 5 times to use it, though. And yesterday, a lot of them had saved it until the last lap, causing a quite literal drag race to the line. 29 thousandths, I think, was the gap between 2nd and 3rd. Nakamura is definitely the one to watch, isn't he? There he is in the 11. Looking out, it's getting at the clouds are menacing, but I think for now we're okay. And you can see in places it can just change at any moment here. Hopefully this will just stay dry all the way to the end, because this race hugely entertaining so far. Slater right behind Yamakoshi here, downhill through 7 into 8. Claro's got a gap of around half a second. In the background, I can see Dion Gauda is putting pressure here on Matteo De Paolo. We're just getting away from him there. There's Dion Gauda in the other Van Amersfoort car. Then it's Taito Kato. Nikita Bedrin is now into the top 10 as well, so he is into the points. Nikita Bedrin, next for him will be Taito Kato. He's having a superb race, is Bedrin, in the blue and white Santalot car. Almost halfway through this race, round the banking, down the start-finish straight now. I think in terms of push to pass, we're seeing a lot of the leaders save it until the end. We haven't seen the full use of it just yet. Maybe Nakamura has used it to help close this gap down to the top 4. But other than that, I think drivers may be saving it. You can't use it immediately on a safety car restart. You have to wait 1 lap. So that was great overtaking. He executed that when we got going. And it's purple for Jin Nakamura on the first sector. Bora is starting to recover as well, isn't he? He seems to just settle down now in P6. Still with them there after that podium he got yesterday. And De Paolo as well has shaken off Dion Gauda, and Gauda is now under threat from Taito Kato. That looks like the closest fight in the top 10. Up in the background, there it is. These guys very close together. Gauda was very happy to be back in the points. A rookie win for him, but I think you can see the gap between he and the rest of the rookies. He's not looking like a rookie at all in this championship. He's And I remember the same attitude from the likes of Isaac Hadjar, and even some of the others. They're more concerned about going for overall points and podiums. Okay, Peugeot in the green RPM looks to the outside of Kanato Lee. This is to move one step closer to a points finish, and that's a nice move around the outside of Kanato Lee if he can hold it. And Enzo Peugeot, great driving from the Frenchman into 11th place now for Enzo Peugeot. That was really tidy stuff. So Enzo Peugeot past Kanato Lee. That demonstrates how it can be done. He got a great run off the banking, didn't he? And set it up for a run round the outside, and good respectful racing from both drivers there, I have to say. Evan Gilter, meanwhile, we'll keep an eye on him. He started from the pit lane. He's up to 19th. He could probably do with a very short safety car period, but so far with the field still fairly congested, he's working his way through the order. And we've seen drivers gain a lot of positions here before. I remember Joshua Dirksen gained 17 places here twice. He did it both years that he raced in the championship. Joshua Dirksen now competing in Formula 2 and a race winner there, so it can be done. There he is in the 95. Evan Gilter. Next for him will be Giovanni Maschio. Michael Belov, it just hasn't worked out for him today. As they head down the start-finish straight, here's going to be Evan Gilter going by Adi Kulkarni, and that was how he picked Kulkarni off. Just from another angle, sets it up really nicely. A great move from Gilter. And great to see so much support from the fans all around. Lots of people gathering to the side of the circuit once they heard the noise of the Freca cars being fired up and heading round. And as I said, a thank you to all the fans who turned up to our autograph session earlier. Do check out our socials throughout the weekend, throughout this week, to see some footage of that. It was a really great session, and thanks to everyone who came and met the drivers. And you can do that anytime you're at a round of this championship. Side by side, here we go. Michael Belov, who is a veteran in this championship now, going against a new driver in Adi Kulkarni. And Adi Kulkarni is not making it easy for him at all. He's making that car as wide as possible. Michael Belov for CL Motorsport, who just went on the wrong strategy earlier. Now goes to the inside, and Michael Belov will go through, and took longer than he might have hoped, but Belov through, and that's CL Motorsport versus Axel GP. So two new teams to the championship. Evan Gilter by Giovanni Maschio a little bit further up the road. Here was the racing, and again, nice racing between the pair. Bit of a lock up there from Belov, just put him on the back foot, but then this great car control round the outside. Kulkarni just running him to the side there. The team at Axel GP really enjoyed that one. Two new teams, and they're going up against teams who have done 4 seasons of this now, so with every round they're learning something new, and particularly Axel GP, who didn't even do any pre-season testing. For them to have Kulkarni the lead in qualifying earlier for as long as he did was a great effort, and Sakir Al-Maserji hadn't even driven a single-seater car in the wet before this weekend, so 20th place for him, and keeping Giovanni Maschio very honest. So a huge effort from him, who was a graduate of the Saudi F4 Championship albeit a couple of years ago. He was telling me earlier how he'd driven the likes of Bahrain, the Kuwait circuit, and Jeddah as well, but they don't quite get the unpredictable weather of Zandvoort in those places. Great shots coming through 6 and 7. You can see just how on the limit we are out front here between Claro and Yamakoshi. Yamakoshi is just closing in slightly over the last 3 laps. That's a graphic there, great graphic that shows us the gaps over the last 3 laps, and what it shows us is Yamakoshi is just closing in slightly. Slater has just done a personal best first sector. Bora at the back of the top 6 has also decreased the gap to Nakamura, and he's done his personal best, so no surprise. 6 for the lead. De Paolo, our championship leader in chase. Round the banking and down the start-finish straights. If it stays as it is, Freddie Slater would be championship leader. He's on to score 15 points. And De Paolo in 7th place on to score 6. So Freddie Slater at this stage would be leaving this round as championship leader. Even without a victory, it's just that close between the pair. There's Gilter. That's another move gained by the Frenchman. Goes by Ye Rehar. Looking at his times, 132.3. And Pedro Claro last time did a 132.3. So he's matching the leaders. What could have been for Evan Gilter? He'll be disappointed, but it's encouraging pace for him. In terms of the leaders, last time we saw 132.3 for Claro, 132.2 rather for Claro, which was a personal best. 132.3 for Yamakoshi, a 32.1 for Slater, 32.2 for Deligny, 32.3 for Bora. It's so really close. The fastest of them was Slater last time round. He did a 32.1. Here's Jack Beaton, 16th, and this will be the first time, unless we see some events unfold ahead of him, that he doesn't finish in the points. He's about to lose another place. Jack Beaton is being caught by Gilter, who was having a tremendous run through the field. Even if Evan Gilter could get 1 point, it would be some effort, but I just don't think he's going to have the time to do it, because Nikita Bedrin is some 7 seconds up the road. So I don't think we'd see Evan Gilter be able to do that, but you just never know in these races. They're quite unpredictable. There's your winners and losers to the left. Enzo Peugeot, similar to yesterday, coming through the field nicely. He was a big mover in race 1, and once again here in race 2, up 7. Personal best sectors in for Slater and Deligny out front, continuing to pile the pressure on Van Amersfoort Racing, but they are not budging as it stands. Holding firm out front. But is Yamakoshi's patience going to run out at any point? As we near the checkered flag, will Claro just drop a wheel? Will we see him just lose concentration? Anything can happen across these final 5 minutes. Let's continue to enjoy these views, though, from Gilter, who's putting on quite the show for us out there. Round the final corner now. Getting the run on Jack Beaton. You can see all the way down to Enzo Peugeot, who goes through shot there in 11th. Oh, big moment for Jack Beaton. Now he's run wide, but he stayed on the track. And a bit of a scary one there for Beaton, but managed to stay on the circuit. Last time around, Claro was 0.2 faster than Yamakoshi. Slater 0.3 faster than Yamakoshi. This is now the battle. It could be a fight for second. The rear just getting loose for Yamakoshi as he came through turns 8 and 9. Through 10. Deligny just going with Slater. Anytime he improves his pace, Deligny's right there with him. They're just beginning to pull away from the likes of Nakamura ever so slightly, and Bora as well. Round the final 2 corners now. Not long to go in this race. 3 minutes and 40 seconds. And Claro will be quite literally ticking off the corners right now. We'll just want to see the gap on that pit board increasing, but there's a sign of a lockup. That's the pressure of leading this race. It can easily go wrong, but he's dealing with it. Okay, it was just a hint of a lockup. But it doesn't seem to have hurt him too much. He's still got a good gap. Let's see the sector times as they come through. That will give some encouragement to Yamakoshi. It's still a 31.3 through the first sector for Pedro Claro, so it hasn't really done any damage. Actually, Bora was actually the fastest of the lead group through the first sector. We're seeing the likes of Dion Gauda close in again on Matteo De Paolo as well, so we could see a little fight there between De Paolo and Gauda. Here is Rashid Al-Daheri right by Kanato Lee. Behind Nando Bidambagdi. Down to the final 2 corners. Al-Daheri just getting a bit loose. Nando Bidambagdi. Heading round the final corner now and on to the start-finish straight. Just under 2 minutes to go. 6 drivers split by 3 seconds. So Claro cannot afford a single mistake here. If he does, he will drop back all the way to 6th. This was the lockup we saw. This is going to give us a great view there. He's got the pressure on his shoulders. A first win incoming. Van Amersfoort Racing have not won a race since Zandvoort in 2023, and the pressure is building on Pedro Claro. Hiryu Yamakoshi will start to become even more motivated now. It's getting closer out there. Slater and Deligny, 2 winners right there in 3rd and 4th. Nakamura on for a personal best result. Actually, Bora on for his best round in this championship and to really elevate himself up the standings. This is the closest Yamakoshi has been through the final corner, and he will be big in the mirrors of Pedro Claro. Down the start-finish straight, it is on, here we go. Surely Claro's going to have to go ever so slightly defensive into the first corner. No, he holds strong, but another lockup. And Danielle there watching through her fingers quite literally as her 2 drivers, we can see 1 and 2, but are close as they have ever been in this race. They both want that first win next to their name. They want that 25 points. And Freddie Slater is there ready to pounce, ready to pick up the pieces if it all goes wrong, and ready to make his move. Has he just been waiting patiently? When will he make his move on this battle? If he stays where he is, he will leave this round as the championship leader. But there are 2 drivers who want that win. They want to do it for the Van Amersfoort Racing team on home soil. On the year they celebrate 50 years as a team. we've seen Ivan Dominguez go and lead home a 1-2 finish for them in Formula 3. The team getting their first 1-2 finish. Ivan becoming the first Portuguese winner. He was a graduate of this championship, and Rafael Villa-Gomez on the same day then went and got his first podium. Teofil Nile also on the podium. It was a superb weekend for them at Barcelona just a week ago. Can they follow up that memorable weekend with a memorable 1-2 finish here at Zandvoort? 1 to go as we head over the line, and Claro will have to defend surely into turn 1. Yamakoshi is there. Does he go for the move? No. Both into the braking zone we go, and Pedro Claro gets through the first corner. That's the big step done, but we still have the run to come into turn 11. Yamakoshi is piling the pressure on the Brazilian driver here. Claro just needs to start ticking off the corners now. He's halfway round. Down through turn 7, turn 8. This is the trickiest part of the circuit. That's another one done. Van Amersfoort Racing can barely watch. The fans can barely watch, I'm sure, as well. They're all at the autograph session there. Wanted this Van Amersfoort Racing win, the home win for the team. 50 years, they're running a special livery on the car. This will be one that goes down in history for the team if they can do it. One more opportunity for Hiyu Yamakoshi. Not close enough, though. It's been super... Oh, is that a wheel off for someone? Oh, my word. Giovanni Maschio, his car upside down at turn 7. Oh dear, that's not good sight at all. Out front though, Pedro Claro will lead home a 1-2 finish for Van Amersfoort Racing to take his first win in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. Hiyu Yamakoshi in second. And it's a first 1-2 finish for the Van Amersfoort Racing team since Red Bull Ring Race 1 in 2022. And we have a new winner in the championship. His name is Pedro Claro. It's a first win for the team since Zandvoort in 2023 when Kaz Havikor won and Van Amersfoort Racing lead home a 1-2. Freddie Slater, another podium for him in third, and he will leave the championship leader. I do pause from these celebrations, though, because I do feel very concerned for the status of Giovanni Maschio, who we saw upside down in the gravel at turn 7 with a wheel off. I haven't had any updates for you for that, but anything I get through, I will give straight away. But our thoughts at this moment are with Giovanni Maschio, and we hope he's okay. And any updates I can give you, I will give straight away. But that was a very, very concerning sight. Not to take away too much, but the drivers, they always look out for each other. They're always concerned for the safety of each other. And we all wait and hope that Giovanni is okay. This out front, though, they wouldn't have known what had happened behind, but Pedro Claro, this will be a moment he remembers forever, leading home a 1-2 finish for Van Amersfoort Racing on home soil. Their first win since 2023. Such a hard-working team, Van Amersfoort Racing. They celebrate 50 years, and that's 2 weeks for them. They're never going to forget. Well done to Van Amersfoort Racing. A 1-2 finish for the second time in this championship, but this one will feel extra special. This was done on home soil after they locked out the front row for the first time. Well done, and what a way to celebrate 50 years. They just keep impressing this season across all categories. Freddie Slater in third. He's our championship leader now. Enzo Deligny fourth, a PB for Nakamura. Bora in sixth, De Paolo seventh, still up there in championship contention. Dion Gauda, a rookie win for him. Taito Kato ninth, Nikita Bedrin 10th, then Enzo Peugeot, Kanato Lee, Rashid Al Tahiri, Nando Bidon Bakhti, Ricky Liu, Evan Julter, Jack Beaton, Ye Rehar, Sakir Al-Maserji. Well done. He'd never even driven in the wet before this weekend. Michael Belov, Adi Kulkani, likewise. Well done to him. Edward Borgner, Vesel Alpine. Maschio, I'm hearing, is okay. So that's very positive news, and I thank the team in the gallery for feeding me that information. So Giovanni Maschio, we hear, is okay, and that's the best news we could have received at this time. Let's focus then on the drivers coming into Parc Fermé, and our new winner in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. He became the 7th driver to take a double pole position, and now he joins the list of winners and becomes the 26th winner in FRECA, and that is a very positive sight. Giovanni Maschio walking away from his car. He will be taken to the medical center for checks, and I hope the fact that he's walking away means that we see him next time out at Hungary on the 5th and 6th of July. Pedro leading Hiyu Yamakoshi, 1 and 2 for the team. Hiyu Yamakoshi, there may be part of him that will be disappointed he missed out on the win, but his day will come. Podium finish. He's a driver that has high expectations of himself. He's not here to play second best. He's here to win. That's for sure, speaking to him earlier. But I think he'll take the positives from that, take the podium. But he's a very talented driver, and he's definitely going to enjoy that. Well done to the Van Amersfoort team. 1-2, take a picture, and not only 1-2, 1-2 and rookie win. Wow, frame that one. Freddie Slater, 3rd place, job done, I feel, for the British driver. I think he'll just take the points from that and take the championship lead. He's had two finishes, which he hasn't done so far this season. 2 trophies. Hiyu Yamakoshi, 2 podiums in as many rounds now for the Japanese driver. Well done. And he was part of a 1-2 finish. The last time they were 1-2, it was part of a chaotic race. This time, much more straightforward. Pedro Claro lights the flag and becomes the new winner in the championship. We've had Brazilian drivers do pretty well here before. Here's our new Brazilian star. His name is Pedro Claro. And they may have had to wait a while for the next win after Kaz Havikort became a star the weekend he won here in 2023, but I'd say the wait was worth it. A 1-2 with Claro and Yamakoshi, and they're going to have 3 drivers up there on the podium because we have Dion Gauda walking up there as the rookie winner. I think there's going to be big celebrations for the Van Amersfoort racing team on home soil, and rightly so. I hope they really enjoy this one. We've all had to bear the weather, the conditions this weekend, but we've had a great treatment from the DTM fans, and we thank them for having us once more. Keep going, Freddie. Keep going. Keep going. There we go. 3rd place for Freddie Slater. So 4 podiums for him now this season. He's racking them up. Hiyu Yamakoshi, 2 podiums for him, but a first win for the Brazilian, Pedro Claro. Well done. We can't forget our team and our rookie, Van Amersfoort Racing. Welcome back to the top step. It's almost like they were waiting for it to be Zandvoort again. And Dion Gauda, rookie win. What's that? Number 5 now. Feel we could almost get some records broken by him this year. The rookie, the record for rookie wins is actually Martinez Stenchon on 13, and Dion Gauda, the rate he's going at could break that. Freddie Slater, now the championship leader. 3rd place. Hiyu, well, I think he's going to play a part in this championship fight as well. He was a little bit back, but he'll very much close the gap to Evan Gilter, the likes of Matteo De Paolo as well. He's He's going to become part of this, and so is this driver here. Pedro Claro officially puts himself in the championship fight as he lifts the trophy there with that performance. And what about Van Amersfoort Racing? In terms of the team's championship, they're going to be right up there, if not leading it possibly. So, well done. They could be winning that for the first time with the outfit they've got. And Dion Gouda, a rookie winner again. Let's hear a very familiar national anthem in this championship. Well done to Pedro Claro. That will conclude proceedings for round 3 of the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. Good to see Giovanni Maschio walked away from that incident on the final lap. We hope he's back at the next round. And that next round will be round 4 at Hungary on the 5th and 6th of July. But now we will leave you with these celebrations. Van Amersfoort Racing are winners once again, and they have their second 1-2 finish in the championship. And our new championship leader there in red and white is Freddie Slater as we go into round 4. But Pedro Claro left on the top step. He is the driver who puts Van Amersfoort back on the top step. It looks like the weather could be a factor in this one. We were starting on slick tyres. Pedro Claro, part of Van Amersfoort's first ever front row lockout at the front. Hiyu Yamakoshi just as desperate as him to go and take his first win in the championship. Evan Giltez stalled on the grid, meaning he would start from pit lane. Dorian Pan, when we had a safety car restart earlier in the race, picked up front wing damage. Then the fight up front, it was a 6-way fight through the field. Evan Giltez was recovering from pit lane. A 6-way fight containing the 3 RHGP cars, but it was the 2 Van Amersfoorts out front. Pedro Claro leading Hiyu Yamakoshi, who put everything into it. Freddie Slater leads the championship now in 3rd, but new to the top step, Pedro Claro.